I want you to know, Mr. Golez, that you're one of my idols as far as Philippine politics is concerned. So my question is, the first one is that, so you were embarking on coming up with our own naval forces to be somehow to be deterrent to what China is doing right now. But when you were explaining this, I see that how can two brigades and a couple of airplanes can really stand to the aggression of China when they have several hundreds of airplanes, several hundred. I see in the TV that they had a show, of course, once upon a time when one of our naval boats went to put some supplies, no? Some bato sa may ayungin shows, no? And they have, I think, in the TV, I saw about 10 or 20 or 30, how they call that, brigades, no? Or boats, no? From the Chinese. How can we say that that will be a valuable asset from our side?
Well, first, it's better than zero. Second, you know, when you have two, what you might call world-class brigades with missiles, with very good electronics, fire control, they can participate in joint exercises. We have two quote-unquote brigades in Del Pilar and the Alcaraz, but they're not exactly brigades. They're converted, very old Coast Guard cutters with no missile capability, slow, so we cannot participate in joint controls. So for us to be able to participate in securing the South China Sea as an allied effort, we must have a good contribution. Otherwise, we'd be slowing down the fleet. If we have a slow boat there, we don't want the rest of the fleet to be waiting for us, di ba? Di ba may expression, you're delaying the entire army, you're delaying the entire fleet. If you're marching and one is slow, the whole army gets slowed down. So that's the rationale for it. At the same time, it's deterrence. You know, in warfare, it's you have to think twice before you want to escalate. When there are ships there are missile boats there, you know that there's going to be some fight before you can enter the area. And if you want fight, you escalate, you have to kill and get killed at the same time. So the decision to escalate is a major decision even for China, even for the US. And that is the reason why they would not take Pag-asa. They can take Pag-asa anytime. They can take that LST anytime if they wanted to. But that would be escalating it to a level where it may go out of control for them. Ano yan eh, di ba? Pag gagawa ka ng aksyon, sisipain mo yung alulod ng kalaban mo, isipin mo, ano kaya gagawin niya pag sinipa ko yung alulod niya? O kaya papaluin ko siya, mananakaut ko. E pag-gising niya, anong gagawin niya? Gagantihan ako, tatawag ng pulis, tatawag ng resback. Can I handle that? Yan ang that's the meaning. You know, when in conflict, you have, even how powerful you are, you have to think of the chain of consequences that would be triggered by your action.
Can I ask another question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my next question is that right now you showed us that there are already a group of Asians and basically, you know, around that area from other countries that they're forming up some groups already, you know, against China. But my question, what's working on my mind is that why is still China doing what they're doing, their development on that area, while this group of countries are seemingly not doing anything to stop this continuous development from China?
Well, that is the point of many analysts. Some analysts are asking, why is China doing that? What would they gain? They would gain temporarily, but then there's going to be counteraction. just like in physics, for every action, there is a counter-action. You push, and you could get pushed back. The arm, Japan is now arming. But before, Japan was a very pacific country, and the defense force is really for self-defense. But because of the threat of China, they decided to transform their forces into something more offensive. Imagine just buying 42 F-35s. That's a major defense decision. And that was triggered by China's aggressiveness. Tayo dun din. Australia will be buying 8 submarines, maybe from Japan. And the US is doing the pivot to Asia. 60% eventually of the naval assets are going to be positioned in Asia. India is also arming. So China is triggering this arms race. And if you ask me, it is an arms race that China cannot win. Because it's, even if they're the number 2 economic power, even if they eventually become the number 1 economic power, they're no match against the world. Look at what happened to the USSR. They went into an arms race against the US and they lost. They became bankrupted because of their overinvestment in military assets.
Thank you, Mr.